Hi, so this is Stu, and I'm here again with Josephine and Jenny, and what they want to talk about today is working healthily in downward dog. So whether you've got restriction in your shoulder and you find it difficult to get that comfortable position, you feel all scrunked up in the neck, or whether you're actually quite mobile and quite loose in the shoulders, but you find it difficult to actually stabilize and get a healthy position. So we're going to work from both ends, and I'm just going to leave them to do their thing because they don't need me. And enjoy.
We need you behind the camera. Right. So downward facing dog is it's kind of funny because it's something we do it a lot in yoga, but still it's a really complicated and complex position. So we're going to look at now a little bit how you could work with shoulders. So if you start off doing a downward facing dog, facing the camera. Right, so first of all I'd like us to be a little bit aware of the relationship between the movements of the shoulder blades and the upper arms. When the arms are hanging, then an out rotation will mean that the shoulder blades are moving together behind you, yeah. But the tricky thing is when you lift your arms above 90 degrees, when you make an outer rotation, your shoulder blades, they want to go apart. That's their job. That's what they need to do. So in downward facing dog, you don't want to move your shoulder blades together. So now when Jenny is doing that, you see that it doesn't look so nice, does it? Does it feel nice?
No.
No, it doesn't feel nice. I didn't ask her to say this before. She's saying it by free will. Okay, so what you'd like to do in order to get the more correct and healthy position is to bend your arms. So now when you bend your arms, you can actually look at your arms as well. Yeah. So when you bend your arms, your elbows are pointing towards the sides, yeah? Imagine that you have a beach ball, a big beach ball, and you want to squeeze this beach ball slightly together and, yes, exactly, and make an out rotation by moving the elbows back, still squeezing the little beach ball, and then gently stretching out the arms as much as you sort of can do. Yeah, and it is a lot of struggle, also for you who are flexible, but that means that no more resting in downward facing dog. Yep. That's good, isn't it? Hanging and dangling. Okay, so the other thing, you can sit down, Jenny. The other thing that can help, good, a lot of work. Another thing that can help us a little bit to be aware how we place our hands. So if we imagine that you don't have a sixth sense, but a sixth finger. Whoop, here it comes. So the sixth finger is between your index finger and your, what do you call this finger?
Middle
finger. Well, the middle finger, middle. Yeah, okay, the middle finger. So imagine that you have a sixth finger there. So you want to place or point this sixth finger towards the front. So if we do the opposite, so if you come up to downward facing dog, please, Jenny, and if you now do the opposite, so that imagine that the sixth finger, that they are pointing towards each other, you see that her upper arms will make an inner rotation, which is not nice in the long run for her. Now if you do the opposite again, imagine that this sixth finger it's pointing outwards. Then, if you have this overstretched elbows, this is a nightmare, isn't it, Jenny? Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you have a really lot of strain here. So imagine that this sixth finger is pointing towards the front. So this can be a good thing also to check out when you work with your in your downward facing dog, because this will also affect, so you come into a more correct position in your upper arms. Okay, so now if you are a super flexible person, so we can just turn around towards here, because we have in our classes, or you could be one as well, a downward facing dog person who I rest my case. I mean, this it's not healthy for your shoulders, and also it doesn't create really a nice thing going on here. So what you want to do here is to imagine that you're lifting your armpits towards the ceiling. So now for Jenny, she will feel again that I'm not doing anything at all, because you're used to, I'm not saying that you're used to, but if you're used to do this sort of hammock thing, then you think that this is the right thing to do, and this is how you sort of work correctly. So just be patient with yourself, and this is where you want to do. So step 1, you can hang here. Step 1. Also, she's making the inner rotation. I can see that here. Step 1, lift your armpits towards the ceiling. Step 2, bend your arms so your elbows are pointing to the sides. Imagine that you have this big beach ball. Squeeze it. Make an out rotation so your elbows are pointing backwards. And then you could stretch out your arms gently, but imagine that you still want to get this biceps going. Madam. We have to work on Jenny's biceps. Okay. so also working with the biceps will also prevent you from overstretch the elbows. Right. Okay. So let's do one more thing, which is for. Are you okay? One more thing that everybody could do. It doesn't matter if you're flexible or stiff or whatever, but that's if you're bored in downward facing dog, you could use downward facing dog to, one of my teachers, he said, flossing the shoulder blades. So this is like both flossing the shoulder blades, but also make them stronger. So imagine that the movement you want to do is like it's in a box. So the movement would be upwards, to the front, down and back, and then just do it the opposite way. And it is a little bit confusing when you're upside down, but if you imagine this little box movement in all directions, let's try it. Then you will get more, or you can do it this direction, sure. You will get both more flexible in your joints, but also you will be stronger. Yeah. So I'm going to leave Jenny here to figure out this very peculiar movement, and you can try it at home also. Good luck.